Kia ora from Aotearoa. It's Poppy speaking here with the current Mayan ninth wave energy report. And we are just going into a new 9-day phase. So we're right at the very depth of the night wave. And that night wave is in the energy of 11 water, which is really about profoundly plumbing consciousness depths, like with pure empathy and intuition. It's really about reclaiming our lost gifts and our purification. And this is going to be in the energy of 7 knife, and it's also known as flint. And these are like the reflective depths in the waters of purification. And self-awareness is in the waters. We're in the Trecena of road now, and this is about staying on our destiny path and finding our divine destiny, our way. So it's really about getting to know ourselves more. And we're also in the year of 11 road, so this has got a lot to do with who we are, what our purpose is, and how we're finding our way. Now, water is the most receptive element. It holds awareness and information in love. There is always dynamic change in its movement. So photons come, they are awareness, they are light, they have all the information of life in them, and it's all through the earth and all the waters. And I'm amazed. I get this cosmic sense of the light of discovery in the waters, and in the background it's just some footage of the ocean with the light, just the light that is in there. And it's like the waves that just constantly come in that have awareness, and it's all part of nature and part of creation and part of what is real and part of what our lives have actually caused us to look away from and leave nature in this whole way of competing, and what we're coming out of, and what this big transition is about at the moment. So stagnant waters can hold polluted waters, and they're filled with putrid information from environmental imbalance and disharmony. So it's movement in the waters that causes them to free themselves of the impurities. It's like cleaning up a pool of consciousness. That movement of the water actually gets it moving and gets it seen, it gets it exposed to the lights. Those impurities are seen and can be released and given back, like compost, back for life, when everything is in this perfect harmony and balance. If the waters have been separated from divinity through ignorant intentions of human hostages here on earth, there is going to be filthy divided pools of consciousness that people can get bogged down in. People can get caught in that and really, really lose their way in life and just lose all hope. As above, so below, as the knife blade or flint reflects light on our life themes at present, we look at ourselves and clear impurities away with love, acceptance, and self-forgiveness. We have learned incredible lessons from our life experiences. If our experiences are leaving us with any hints of shame, fear, hopelessness, like just, all sorts of feelings can come up. They are the lower vibrating emotions. They're actually showing us that something's not moving properly, that there's some stagnation, there's some pollutants, there's something to clear, because these lower emotions are actually just often from the self-judgments, from the judgments of others or whatever, and they're not actually necessary. They're not actually true to life anymore. Sure, we felt less than perfect while we went through our traumas, and we messed up and we made mistakes, but we mustn't hold on to the way that we reacted. We were doing the best that we can in those times, and we need to pull ourselves back up into those real beautiful vibrations and emotions of self-acceptance, of love, of of the divinity that is ours, like seeing ourselves and knowing ourselves, and really being in those higher states, because we have cleared and purified the lower states. We're not in denial anymore. We've actually cleared them, and it's time to clear them. So when the lesson is learned, the judgment or the self-judgment is over, and we may observe ourselves in the light of our experiences and interactions with others. So how are we doing? Are we maintaining connection with our source parents and present as our I and self as we go through different life experiences? Where are the blockages or limitations to the movement of our energy? The magic is that as we clear up our own blockages and limitations, it clears it in our outer worlds too. So it actually purifies the whole field of consciousness. In a purified state of consciousness, we are naturally living in a state of grace or appreciation for all of life's experiences that have evolved us. Our belief structures leave. We lose our attachment to what no longer serves creation and life. And so much of these beliefs are still comparisons and analysis and judgments. But all belief structures based on hierarchy, inequality, competition, duality, etc. will naturally dissipate as the time frequencies keep rising. The true light of awareness is recorded in photons, which are light particles which move through the waters of Papatuanuku and in our blood in like manner. The awareness in the light particles reflects the truth of nature to us, revealing the mysteries of nature so that we may flow and harmonize with these miracles again. We must be attuned with the cosmos, the seeding of time codes and frequencies as energy from Ranganui, Father Sky, and also with Papatuanuku, Mother Earth. Together we grow and materialize their dream of a new, balanced and harmonious reality. This miracle is happening through those who have embraced the feminine ways of collaborating and equality, so that all mouths are fed and all hearts are happy. This is the collaborative feminine way that we need to adapt to and become familiar with again. It's often been a motherly way. Mothers have naturally had this way, but there's still been a lot of competition outside, and that warring that continues is still often about what is true and what is not, and who is right and who is wrong. But to what end? In the end, does it matter who's right, who's wrong? It doesn't do anything for creation. It's not feeding the mouths of babies. It's not keeping our young ones safe. It's not creating equality and joy for everyone. The programming has been competitive. It's basically been run on the idea that if you are good, you get. And this has infiltrated the minds of humanity through religions, through schooling, through colonization, through sports, through feeding people to lions, imprisonment, putting people in stocks, torture, sacrifices, etc. All sorts of fear. Because you create fear, you've got the minds of the people. And it's all been done by religious decrees, legislative ritual, spell casting, and on a calendar system and timeline with the energies of separation and chaos. It's all in people's heads and none of it is natural. It's belief, which is the human condition. Belief is socialized or controlled to produce outcomes. The minds of people have been grabbed, but we are also given to it. We gave our minds. Our search for life, purpose, meaning, happiness has caused us to react to life events. We learn and we continue to project our inner worlds outwardly, ignorantly. The busyness of life to get those rewards based on being good enough can rob people of the time it takes to be still and present and actually living life and not an illusion. Life really knocked me over, so I had no choice other than being still and connecting back to nature after the misery of being so separate from her. I have had extraordinary amounts of observation and meditation time to resolve this life and do my best to master it. So I'm sharing that this is a way that is necessary for everybody to do that. The biggest deception, as I see it, relates to time, social programming and governmental policies, mind control, or catch people in itself to compete for resources, when really nature reflects truth that draws people back to her mysteries in the ways that give life, share life, embrace life, and create it in loving connection and care. Religions and fictitious ideas came and they took what was lovely, pure, organic, away from native peoples of just about all lands of the earth. It was programming, deception, and promises of a better life. It was a simple withdrawing of human intuition, looking in to learn, that got lost into disconnecting from divinity, nature, and the self. It was misplaced trust outside of the essence of our soul. Let's make sure we claim it back fully and enjoy the fruits of divine connection and what will evolve from many of us remembering the mysteries of life and applying them together again. And this is the 125th time, ninth wave, time wave of the unity consciousness waves of Gregorian since the Gregorian year of 2011. And why I talk about this is because I have found key codes to unity in this sacred Mayan calendar, which was very original, very native, very organically and naturally observed and learned in the beginning. And so, we have to find our way back to what is natural and earthy and beautiful again, to experience it. So we're in this 9-day phase of 7 knife, where we have reflective discernment, the clear cutting away of deception with love and self-acceptance, and then 8 storm is to shelter in the center of your calmness as outer storms that are playing outside rampage chaotically. Storm is very much about the belief system, so intuit your own, know your own. Then we have 9 sun. The enlightening comes regarding truth and love as we surrender old concepts that are not of that. Now there's many religious ideas, so this is ending old phases, old belief patterns, and going into new, more enlightened belief patterns. And then 10 dragon, that's labouring and birthing. We need to relax, release, surrender and be, finding primal trust in nature's ways through great transition. Then 11 wind, the breath of life may course through our being, guiding us honestly with inspired communication. 12 night, the cosmic dream is of abundance and unity for all living souls, and divine destiny opens up. It's time. This is the dream of our source parents, not resourced energy into something fictitious, but actual source. Then 13 seed, our star-seeded awareness aligns us in a divine road held majestically by divinely seeded time frequencies. And then we will go into a new Trecena, which is 1 serpent, where we may focus on sexual wholesomeness, experience heightened states of consciousness and balanced energy system. This is actually really important, that we are balanced at the foundations of our being, which is actually in our I am presence. It is to do with our sexuality, but living our essence in ways that love and support the earth and all living beings very wholesomely. And the last day will be to death, and it's also a full moon, but it's death to limiting matrix mental constructs. It's a choice whether we release this or choose to stay invested in it by focusing attention on it. Really, really vital now that we make our return to ourself, which is our return to nature and our return to love. And this is the connection, divinity, and from here we can create new earth. But we cannot create new earth from a place of division. New earth comes because we have established the connection within ourselves, and then we can create with that love. And then it's divine, it's pure, it's magical. Then all our babies will be fed and loved and nurtured and protected, and life will be filled with joy and love and promise and hope again. So much love to you in Lakesh.